What are some of the problems and frustrations and concerns that you're seeing with your clients today, and how has the pandemic itself, obviously, I know you touched a little bit upon it, maybe we can expand more, or for folks tuning in for the first time to this episode today, who are dealing on all different levels with what has been happening via the pandemic, the working from home, working remotely, just so many different variables and so many different things have changed on a dime that some people are still scrambling to figure out what's our approach, what are we going to do. Even their branding has been changing, their mission statement has changed. So many things have come at us. From your perspective, to help these people, these individuals, these groups, these organizations, these companies sort of sort it out, keep the train on the track, and keep moving forward in a positive direction, what are some of the things you're hearing from your clients, and how are you helping them navigate the challenges of all of this we've been dealing with?
Sure. When we look at the last 3 years, it's really been about how do we manage people and cost. And so from a people perspective, companies have been creative in how you make sure you're getting your employees to still function at a high level and bring results to the table. And what I'm typically working with manufacturers, so you can't really manufacture something from home, but you can have technical staff and management remote, and a lot of people did that. And now the challenge is how do you bring people back in and kind of get back to a more normal world? From the people perspective, it's also around, if we're helping clients, there's usually a reason they bring us in. There's something that is causing them pain. And so we've got to have access to that team to make sure that as we define a problem, one of our first steps in going in and attacking an issue is identifying the team and experts that we're going to pull into the problem-solving group to work through those issues. So it's getting that team together, and it's usually cross-functional. So we've got to have the people there. And so it's been a little bit more of a challenge, particularly if I've been working in more transactional businesses. As I mentioned, I have some experience in insurance and hospitality. Just getting people aligned and taking advantage of the great tools that are out there to try and facilitate the same problem-solving process we would do in person over a web conferencing system. That's and trying to build rapport in that process and build trust in that process is a little bit more challenging than trying to do it face-to-face. So if we can do it face-to-face, which thank goodness we're moving in that direction everywhere now, it's much more effective. But it can be done remotely. We can take advantage of those tools. And oftentimes we'll attack the problem, we'll get things defined, we'll be face-to-face to start, and then we'll disperse and work on our actions, which we've done things like define that problem, contain it if we need to, if it's something that needs kind of immediate addressing, and then go forward and work on root cause identification and corrective actions that flow out of that. Some of that we can do a little bit more remote from the immediate location. But again, if we're attacking manufacturing problems, we're going to be usually there on the floor beside the folks who are doing the work on a daily basis, because they give us the best source of input. And then, so that's some of the people things we have to think about. From a cost perspective, if people are bringing us in, and I know with the pandemic, supply chain's been an issue, and we are certainly still dealing with an inflationary environment. And one of the things we bring to the table, if we're doing a larger transformational type effort, or building a continuous improvement culture, another way of saying it, we're trying to identify that collection of issues that we can go and attack and add up to get that 3 to 8% of operating savings that we see over time if we're doing it right, and that helps offset that inflationary pressure we have across businesses from the supply chain perspective. We'll also be drilling in and doing some cost analysis and and identifying where are the big costs in a particular company and what are our opportunities there to address those costs through improved process efficiency or through alternative sources of materials, whatever the case may be, to try and, if we're trying to drive to a bottom line, there's two ways to do it. It's increase your sales at the top line and decrease your costs in the middle to get an improved bottom line when you do all the math at the end. So oftentimes we're dealing with that cost perspective and trying to take that out rather than helping people with sales, for example. But sometimes we'll find opportunities if they improve efficiency and they free up capacity of their plants to produce more. That means there's an opportunity for them to go sell more. So oftentimes there's a spin-off benefit of that sort of improvement effort.